time to get geeked up.
But the other thing the old coronavirus virus is going to be at the head of, too, not only just in our lives, but the big election coming up in November, it seems to be the forefront, one of the many forefronts of discussion, not only amongst voters, but also amongst the debates that just happened last Tuesday night.
Yep, and I'm counting, and we're counting election news as part of our fall entertainment preview. I mean, it's going to be the only thing that's fucking on TV for half the fall, so it's
it falls into Corona news and fall TV
and they
preview.
fall. I know we're kicking off our fall entertainment preview with the election coverage because it's going to be a lot. Starting with the debates, which I guess we already had our first debate, which was wildly chaotic and,
Yeah. It was also, like, exactly what I expected it to be. You know what I mean? Like, there was no real shocker or surprises to me.
My only shocker, I was telling you off air, but my only shocker was that not even from the election, but it was from, like, how am I the only person in the world who didn't know who the Proud Boys were? Like, was I the only one that had to Google that? Like, how is everybody? Can you believe what he said with the Proud Boys? Oh, can you believe what he said with the Proud? Who the fuck are the Proud Boys?
Because they, I at least thought you would have looked them up already just because of how much they sound like a wrestling team, a wrestling group. Like the Proud Boys, isn't that Mankind and Triple H? Like,
I know, seriously. That was, I guess, the big story. But really, other than that, it was just, the big story.
Dude, I have well, the big story, I think, for the election, too, was, them setting up Trump to say, just denounce white supremacists, and he didn't. You know what I mean?
Well, those were the Proud Boys.
But he told him to stand by. He was like, Proud Boys, stand by, which I have a couple theories on this. One is obviously Trump's a dumb racist, but the other one is, dude, it was just one of those things where, like, Trump has just such an ego that if you're watching that video, and I'm not defending Trump by any means, I want to make that clear, but if you're watching that video, they're both, like, goading him into saying it. They're like, say it then, say it. And, like, Biden's like, say it, yeah, say it. And, like, the moderator's like, say it.
Yeah.
There's no fucking way in hell. They could have been telling him to, like, say that the sky is blue. But the way they're, like, coming at Trump like that, there's no way in hell that guy's going to be like, all right, guys, geez, I'll say it. Like,
no, you're right. Like, political diplomacy has just been, non-existent from Trump from day one. Like, he does not do any of the things that you would just assume a politician would do. Like, of course they'd come out and denounce, white nationalism and all this kind of stuff. But he has really just doubled down, it seems, on, the really throughout the whole Black Lives Matter thing, but he is just, like, obviously, I don't think you can really argue, even if you are a Trump supporter, that he has paid no attention to trying to win over black voters, or, like, if you think he's a racist, he's not trying to win you over. He never has. No. Throughout John Lewis, he's never budged 100%. In trying to win over or prove that he's not racist. So he's just doubling down and just hoping that there's more racist people than not racist people in the country, but, like, he's had lots of opportunities, even just like I said, saying something nice about John Lewis, where he said something nice about Ruth Bader Ginsburg, but he didn't say anything nice about it. Like, there's ever since Charlottesville, he's really, like, just went out of his way to at least let everybody know that he's not bending over backwards for African American voters. Like, that is not happening. So
100%.
Does it come back to bite him in this year's election? As we talked about on the 5-year special with Secret Agent Ronnie, our political pundit, the lack of African American voters in last election, which Hillary still won by 3 million in the popular vote. You know what I mean? But the lack of African American voters in certain cities really cost him in some swing states. And hopefully, if there's a huge turnout within the much like Black Panther being the biggest Marvel movie of all time, if all of the black voters go out and vote for Biden, like they did for Obama, and like they did not do for Hillary, then they can control America's fate in their hands. So.
Yeah, who knows? I mean,
and of course, I'm gonna write in for Chris Evans because it's hilarious to not take this election seriously at all.
And I'm doing what I do every 4 years, Stephen Root.
But no, get out there and vote. Get out there and register.
At least register. You know what I mean? At least give 50%.
Yeah,
That's all. That's all I'm asking. You know, that's all I'm doing. Vote or die.
Yeah, at least become an organ donor throughout the registration process, and then.
Oh fuck that, dude! The people in the ambulance will kill you then, dude. No way. But anyway, I guess in kind of sticking with the political news though too, and is kind of the announced movie though that kind of falls into with the old voting and politics, but very secretively filmed and kind of just like announced and shown now, but the Borat subsequent movie film, the sequel to Borat.
Yeah, and this is like really hot off the presses. As when I watched the trailer, it was like hours old. So I don't know if this came out today or like, but I haven't really heard about it. And then it's like, so this is breaking news. There's been rumors here and there that he was filming this, and no one really confirmed it. And I think just like a day or two ago, it was just like, just so you know, like Amazon bought Borat, and then Sacha Baron Cohen came out and was like, just so you know, like this will have a definite like effect on the debates and the election. Like I'm involved in it. It's going to come out before the election. Interesting.
It's like, Jesus Christ. So
now I guess to catch everybody up as well, Sacha Baron Cohen, not Borat, the character, but he already has made some political news with his "we're gonna give them all the Johan flu" like gag that he did at like a right wing.
The Wuhan flu. That's right.
Yeah.
I got a feeling that that's going to be a part of this movie, dude.
I mean, you would think so for sure. And even I guess actually, yeah, because even in this movie, he is going as Borat, but then Borat goes undercover and in disguise in America. So it's like Borat dressed up as a fat American. It's like but like doesn't drop the Borat accent, but it's kind of like Borat trying to do a redneck and it looks fucking brilliant. I'm a sucker for this fucking guy. I think I think any of these movies are the funniest goddamn things I've ever seen. This one has like a girl Borat. Do you know who the actress is that plays?
I don't. No. I only briefly looked at it.
Because there's like a full-on like fucking Wayne's World 2 style girl Garth and like a wacky accent on a chick for the Borat, and it plays Borat's daughter in the movie. But you know, I'm excited for it too, man. Just because I am a big fan. And at first too, like I was kind of put off by because I was like, which one of these fucking idiots are still falling for this guy? I mean, that's the whole gimmick.
But, guy. Yeah. But then him like dressing in different costumes this time as Borat, like you said, the double layer of it, so he can still trick.
But honestly, dude, I feel like this one, even by looks of the trailer, and honestly, dude, at some point you have to just totally, you can't keep the spoof up forever. So it would be like a just genius level of filmmaking if they ever could convert Borat into like a scripted fake kind of thing. But it looks like that sleepover scene from the trailer where he's like staying at those rednecks' house or whatnot. It's just like, is this just an amazing comedy scene where they're all staying in character? And you know what I mean? Like, is this just an improv? Like, are these guys real rednecks or is this a hilarious movie? And it's almost like an Andy Kaufman-esque thing now where the line is so blurred but I kind of have to believe that, and honestly, dude, it's a fucking comedy thing. So if they're just pulling off an amazing ruse, it's comedy. God bless him. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't have to be real to be funny. You know what I mean? And it would be almost that just knowing what you know would be more impressive to fake it. You know what I mean? That kind of thing. So, but I think that it's probably going to be a blend of some spoof comedy, some definitely fooling idiot rednecks.
The first Borat had like the scenes with like his little fat sidekick that was obviously like scripted comedy. Like where they were like wrestling around the room naked. But then again, I think that turns into like unscripted where he's like running through the lobby naked. So who knows? And like you said, the redneck thing also totally reminds me of in Bruno where he goes camping with like all those rednecks. They goes hunting with them. And then in the middle of the night, he just keeps trying to like crawl into their tent and like, you know, trying to bang them more or less. And you have to imagine that, like, it is probably scripted because he'd be fucking dead.
More than meets the eye, for sure.
But then he's also talked about how, like, and again, he could just be playing it in the thing, but that he actually thought that they might get killed during Bruno when they were doing that straight man's wrestling gig, and then he starts, like, making out with the dude in the middle of the ring. And like people went fucking bonkers. He's like, people were really throwing beer bottles and chairs in there. But
well, I mean, there's definitely got to be a difference between the people that Borat, that are people that are involved in the scenes and the people that he's fooling. Like if they're going to like a public place and shocking civilians that are watching something, the civilians are going to be like that was kind of what the in Bruno, right? That wrestling scene. It was like the people that were watching, or like when he's doing the fake national anthem or whatnot. Like those are definite unwilling participants. The guys in the tent on the camping trip, you got to figure they're fucking in on the gag a little bit. You know what I mean? But when they get a couple guys that are in on the gag and then shock people that aren't in on the gag, all of a sudden it's like, I mean, there's just so many elements of the fucking comedy. It's really amazing. And,
it's very funny, man.
And I guess just there is a little bit more to Borat, as we're going to see another hilarious character from Borat as well coming up. Although it is a comedy, right? The Chicago 7. That's a hilarious gag that. Who's his character in that one?
The hilarious Abby Hoffman from.
Now, what's he like? Is he a? What country's he from?
He's a little extreme.
Is he a very Jewish kind of character, or what's he?
No, really, man. But you're right, because the Borat movie is coming out October 23rd, and then I think a week before that on Netflix, Borat's coming out on Amazon Prime. A week before that on Netflix is the trial of Chicago 7, which is all, of course, about the 1968 Democratic National Convention in Chicago, where the police pretty much attacked protesters and just went wild on people. And...
Attacking protesters? I've never heard of anything. I can't imagine such a...
Sacha Baron Cohen is in that, like we said, too.
Yeah, but this is like an actual real one.
Yeah.
I was being...
This is a real one, yeah.
I was being a dick, joking around, but this is like a full-on... But really does just go to show the range of Sacha Baron Cohen, though, as he is no stranger to, real acting chops. But quite the difference between the Chicago 7 and Borat 2 coming out on back-to-back weeks. So it's really the fall of Sacha Baron Cohen.
But you got to figure that, this dude's bread and butter. He's got to give it back to the things that made him: Molly G, Borat, and Bruno.
Yeah, for sure. I would have loved to see another. There has been that other show. Did he debut any other characters on like the second incarnation of the Ali G show?
Same Ali G, Borat, and Bruno.
But yeah, that is an amazing 2-for-1 resume stuffer for Sacha Baron Cohen that week.
Yeah, really. Both on streaming services too. So,
yes, I guess we'll see a lot of that in the throughout our movie news as we get to. I guess another election one real quick, but as well there is that Fox Robert Smigel puppet election thing with like Trump and Biden and all sorts of political figures in hilarious crank yankers puppet style.
That's right.
And with Robert Smigel being involved, I give it the chance,
Yeah.
If it's on after Sunday football or whatever, I'll watch on Fox.
I'll watch it. I'm a big fan of Triumph, and plus, Smigel killed it as the marriage moderator in Marriage Story. So
that's right. Oh, this is the guy. You mean the guy from Marriage Story?
Yeah. But Smigel's the man. You know what I mean? Fucking comedy writing legend. So you definitely got to at least give it a chance.
And the commercials look funny. It's honestly, this election has gotten so intense that it's almost like not even funny, and it's just like you kind of don't even like. I've lost a little bit of like the humor in laughing about what an ass Trump is. Like Bush was just a hilarious, you know what I mean? A hilarious piece of shit. Trump, this one's like it's like gone too far to like I'll laugh about it all after the November 3rd, but it's just like it's kind of hard sitting there with my popcorn giggling along to like, oh, Trump, he really is a racist dirtbag,
Yeah, I watched the whole thing. It was wild, man. It was
what, the puppet thing?
Oh no! I mean the debates.
Oh no! Yeah, no. I'm talking about the puppet thing. Even the debates are different. Like, the debates are real. Yeah. At least you can like have this. I'm talking about like a straight comedy parody. It's almost like I don't like even the Baldwin Trump impression or whatever. It's just like it's almost beyond parody at this point. Let's just fucking
Yeah, let's just move on.
Just end this madness. Like like I said, I'll laugh when it's all over. When Trump is like a black eye on America's history, I'll laugh about it. When it's a black eye on America's present, it's a little bit hard to swallow. But
absolutely, man, very true. But we could talk then, to get your mind off it, a little TV news, especially to get your mind off of it, too, we could talk a little TV news, especially an award show that Trump himself has actually lost for The Apprentice, of course. I'm talking the Emmys.
Do the Emmys give a reality TV show?
They do,
an Emmy
man.
for Best Reality Show?
Oh, yeah, I did. Look it up. He was nominated a couple of times, and in very much Trump form. Look up his Twitter account, like, during those times.
Oh, hilarious.
Of him, like, accusing the networks of hating him. That The Apprentice was obviously the best show and deserved the win.
I mean, I can't. If the Andrew Dice Clay and fucking Penn Jillette season of The Apprentice didn't win an Emmy, I don't know what the fuck. I don't know what the Schitt's Creek's got going for it. that amazing season of Meatloaf, and who was the dude that Meatloaf had his battle?
Gary Busey.
Yes, exactly. That wasn't fucking Emmy worthy. I don't know what was, but
that's a very fair point.
I mean, I show up. There's no bagels. When Dice was he like walked off. He's like, I show up. There's no fruit plate in the morning. You know, you say this Trump's a rich guy. I get here. You know.
Yeah, dude, you're right. The Gary Busey Meatloaf thing too. It was over like a markers, right? He's like, "Give me back my fucking crayons."
I mean, I gotta give a shout out to Andy Dwan for like cluing me in on that one. To be honest, the Meatloaf, Andy Dwan, like on our Celebrity Meltdown thing, commented and told us about that one. But yeah, then we watched the YouTube clip of yeah, exactly. You're definitely right though. It was like a hilarious.
And then I think Gary Busey didn't do it. Like Meatloaf went back and like found his crayons there, and Busey never even budges. He just sits there and is like, you know, making that. It's amazing.
Yeah, yeah.
Ooh, baby, it's time to get geeked up.